I'm standing on the outskirts of the suburb of Ludwigsdorp, one of the priciest areas in the city of Windhoek. How much do you think you would pay for one of these houses? 1 million? 2 million? Well, the actual selling price is 5 million and above. This just highlights the income disparity that is still being experienced in Namibia today, as the majority of the population cannot afford this accommodation. This is despite government's pro-poor policy when it comes to tabling the annual budget. As a middle-income country with one of the most unequal income distributions in the world, Namibia is a place of poverty and plenty. According to the most recent Namibia Household Income and Expenditure Survey, more than 1 in 4 households live in poverty. Furthermore, the poorest 10% of households command just 1% of the country's total income, whereas the wealthiest 10% control more than half. Statistics such as these emerge in frequent surveys conducted by the government, but these surveys are rarely followed by an extensive analysis. As a consequence, understanding the links between poverty, inequality and economic growth, and what options exist to bridge the gap between rich and poor, are key public policy challenges for Namibia.
I think it's in need of an very broad policy basket that attacks this skewness of the economy on variable fronts. The first one, I think, is we must improve our employment creation. Unemployment is a very serious matter. It of course results in poverty. If you have no productive activity that you get a reward for, you are dumped into poverty. So our policies with regard to translating economic growth into pro-job policies is at the core of our budget policy and our economic policy.
But social inequalities, high rates of poverty and unemployment pose formidable challenges, while at the same time the government seeks to maintain investor confidence and growth in an economy that is highly dependent on the private sector. The government aims to meet these challenges by investing heavily in mining, education and training, expanding social services, providing safety nets for the marginalized poor, implementing land reform and affirmative action policies, and, above all, continuing to embrace policies that promote further economic growth.
Through being in an open economy, large amounts of our capital leaves the country and is therefore not available for our own development agenda. So I think what we are trying to induce into the economy is that both foreign direct investment and domestic investment is deployed towards our developmental goals.
The Namibian government has embraced liberal economic policies and seeks to diversify an economy dominated by mining and the services sector. While overall output rose at the robust average rate of 5% per year in the first 5 years after independence, growth has since slowed. With recovery slow but steady after the world financial crisis in 2008, the government faces formidable challenges, including high unemployment, widespread poverty, and the vast income gap, which is a legacy left by colonialism and apartheid. Nevertheless, the medium-term outlook seems promising, with continuing efforts to support private sector growth, increase foreign investment inflows, and improve the social sector. Today, Namibia has one of the most open and investor-friendly economies in Africa.
The TIPEC program is not something very new. It is just a shift in emphasis. We have been, for the last 3 years, I think, expanded our expenditure. So public sector expenditure has been growing, and that we have done to first overcome the negative impact of the financial crisis and the economic crisis that followed, but then we follow through to now improve our situation. And that is the TIPEC component that was an add-on.
We are standing in the Babylon Informal Settlement, which is one of the poorest areas in the city of Windhoek. Here, poverty is very much prevalent and a part of daily life. Namibia's income disparity is considered one of the highest in the world, but this is only because we have reporting structures in place, such as the Bureau of Statistics, that can reveal this information. Countries like the DRC and Angola are estimated to be 10 times worse, but they have no solid figures to indicate this. The Namibian government has taken a proactive approach through projects such as a pro-poor budget and the Targeted Intervention Program for Employment and Economic Growth. Programs such as these are expected to bear fruit within the next 12 to 24 months. This is Edgar Brandt reporting for Business on One.